So hello and welcome back guys. So guys, in today's video I will teach you about, well, not really teach you, I will tell you about few basics of Node.js. Well, Node.js is just environment, or I should say something which will execute your JavaScript code. Well, to be honest, it's pretty much late to tell you about this because we are already using Node for executing our JavaScript code in all of our videos. But anyways, let's start. So you can install Node from this link or this website, and you can install any version. I will suggest version 16 or at least version 14, but if they are not supported on our operating system, then we cannot help that. But anyways, let's begin. So first of all, in Node.js, well, you are just gonna write normal JavaScript code, but there are few extra things like this require function. With this, you can require different modules like this fs module. It is an inbuilt module in Node. So if you install Node, you don't have to install this, it will be already installed. And there are a lot more modules, but I'm gonna just cover these two because I thought they are pretty good, because I don't know. But anyways, I will tell you another thing, that you can move through different files and folders. Like if I do dot slash, it means read in the current directory. Well, right now we are in this index file, that means it will read in this node directory. And now in dot slash we have data.json and source. But and if I record that and if I log this a file, you will see something cool. Bam, it just written whatever it was in the a file. But anyways, let's leave that. I will tell you a bit more about moving in files, or I should say locating your files and stuff, a bit later. Well, let's begin real quick. So first of all, I will start by doing this. So first of all, we have two constant variables, the directory name and the file name. These values includes the current directory and current file location. Let me just log them so that you can understand what I'm saying. And let me remove this. I will teach you about this too in a second. Bang. So you can see why did I added that minus. But anyways, let me add a slash in here, and boom. Now let's do this. So you can see our folder location is this node one, and our file location is this. So this is how about how our file name and directory name works. And now let's move on to this function, path.join. It is a really cool function. It will make you it will help you in making different paths. For example, if we are going to move from current directory, that is this node thing, and what if you want to access this data.json file? For that, you can just do dot slash data.json. Well, it you might be unable to understand this, but let me show you. If I log that thing, it will give us the location of this file. But what if you want to go inside in the source and in the models and in this users.js file? For that, you can just do dot slash source slash models slash users dot js. Pretty much similar, and this function path.join function will make your location pretty good. And by the way, I think if we make small errors like this, it will fix those two. Yep, it will fix those two. But anyways, this is it. Now let me show you another thing. What if, like, we are in this node folder and you want to go in this high file? What will you do then? It is pretty similar. Let me show you. Pretty easy. So right now we are in this node file, right? So in order to go one level above, all right, in order to go one level above, you have to do dot dot slash, or just dot dot. Well, dot dot slash. Now we are in this JavaScript folder, but we have to go one level above too, because we want to go in this high file. Then we can just do dot dot slash again, and now we are in this tutorial folder and we have to access this high file. So we will just type high, and boom. So you can see it gave us the correct location, and if I click on it, it will open that high file. And yeah, pretty easy. And by the way, you probably understood, but if we just do dot slash, then we will be able to move to the current folder, and dot dot slash will take us one level above. Alright, this is it about our path.join and moving in the file stuff. And now let's move on to this fs module. Trust me, it is really cool and it is really useful. Well, it might be useful for you all too. Well, let's do this. What if you want to read what is inside it? Then you know what to do. First of all, we are just gonna use the fs.readFileSync function. I will just probably advise you, or maybe it is just my opinion, use the synchronized functions. They're better, at least according to me. But let's move on. Well, I can make a detailed video on that, but not now. Anyways, then we have this path.join function, and then inside, first of all, we are providing the directory name and then the location with respect to current directory, that is high. So, and by the way guys, there is another thing. Well, let me make it a bit more readable so that you can understand what I am doing here. Right, everything is fine now. So first of all, we have this console.log function. It will log the stuff to our console. Then we are using the read file sync function. Inside this, first parameter is the path which we want to read, and this will be equal to this. The part.join thing will give us a path. And then comes the option. We are providing the encoding of UTF-8 so that we all can read it. Otherwise, it will be some buffered form, and I think normal human cannot read that. And bang, you can see it returned us everything which was written there. This is it about read file sync thing. Well, there are a lot more functions, but I'm not covering all of them. But I'm covering a small amount of them. What if you want to make a file? Just do fs.write file sync, and by the way, I'm just directly doing dot slash high text, so it is going to do everything in the main folder probably. Bang, so it created the hi.txt file here, and you can see it have all of this content. Pretty easy. Now I will show you another thing. Well, wait, let me do another thing. If I do hello here, and if I rerun this function, you know what happens? It will replace all the older values to the new one. So this means if you use write file sync function, it will create the file if it do not exist, and if it do exist, it will replace all of those the stuff to this new one. What if the file already exists or not? It doesn't really matters. Let me show you by this proof. If I delete the high file, and if I run this function, you can see it created the hi file with this text EEE. But what if I want to add more text but I don't want to remove the old one? Here comes the append file sync function. I will just do hello and boom. So you can see it added all of those stuff but it didn't remove the older one. So you can use append file for that. And then comes the copy file sync function. So it is just like copy pasting a file. First of all, you provide the path or the location of the file you want to copy, then the destination where you want to paste it, and boom, now you can see it pasted it here. Hi 2, pretty easy. And here comes the fs.unlink sync sorry, and here comes fs.unlink sync function. It is for deleting a file, to be precise, or to say stuff in easy language. And bang, if I run this file, you can see the hi file is deleted. Pretty easy. And now let's move on to fs.statsync function. It is like getting the statistics, but by statistics I mean stuff like some information, for example when the thing was created and stuff like that. It can be really useful for you all, but I mainly use this thing for checking whether it is a directory, whether it is a file, and directory refers to the folder if you don't know. And there are a lot more stuff. Let me just log it so that you can understand it a bit more. What the heck? Okay, dot hi file do not exist. Let me do dot hi 2. Bang. So you can see it gave us a lot of thing, dev mode and quite a lot of stuff. Probably I don't know most of it, but let's ignore that. Who cares about that? Anyways, it is quite useful in checking whether a thing is a file or not. You might need it. I needed it. It said true because that file is an file. And anyways, there is another cool function you might like. So the function is fs.existSync. So if we do fs.existSync, it will check whether a particular file or folder exists or not. What if I do dot hi? Then it will say false because it do not exist. If I do dot hi 2, then it will say true because it exists. And by the way guys, you can use all of this stuff to make lot of custom logic and stuff. And let me tell you another thing, the process.abort function. So with this function you can end your node.js process or the execution of your code immediately, and it will generate a core file, probably some information related to our process. Sadly I am stupid, so I don't know much about that. But now let's move on to other stuff. Well, I told you about the directory name and the file name thing. There is a function called process.cwd. CWD stands for current working directory. So this thing returns this value, literally the same value. So yeah, I just wanted to tell you about that. Well, there are a lot more function of process. Well, probably you might need to use this one, process.on, probably exit or something like that. But anyways, I will tell you about few one. I'm not really gonna go through each and every function. So first of all, we have process.uptime. It is of course just going to give you the uptime of the process. It was like 0.036 seconds, probably 3 milliseconds. And then the CPU usage, it will tell you the CPU of your machine. Well, the users uses this, systems uses this. I don't know if this is kilobytes or what, but it is something. Well, let's read it. It returns the user and system CPU time uses of the current process. Oh, it is the time uses. But anyways, let's ignore that because I don't really need it. And here comes these two functions. These are node related functions. Like if you were using normal JavaScript, then they will not work because they're part of Node.js. So they're really cool, trust me. The first one is the set timeout function. Well, let me comment the interval thing. So the set timeout function is what if you want to do something after X amount of time, and you can just use the set timeout function. The, the first parameter is another function, and then the second one is the time after which you want to do a thing. It is in milliseconds. And by the way, guys, the first parameter is in function. So as soon as this much time happens, the first function will be executed. Let me show you. Cool. So you can see after 2 seconds it said I0, and then comes the set interval function. It is pretty much similar to set timeout. It will do stuff after the time you provided, but it will keep doing it until it can. Well, it is almost infinite. There is no way to stop it unless you just force close your program or something. And let me just show you a proof. Let me just show you what it do. So you can see it just keep logging high and stuff like that. And I'm just plus using this increment operator to increase the value of I. Pretty simple. Anyways, guys, after all of this, there comes another thing. What if you want to use someone else code in your project? Well, Node.js supports that. In Node.js we have a thing called Node Package Manager. This is called npm. If you install Node, it will be installed in your terminal or in your machine itself. You can use it in your terminal using npm, and you can check the npmjs.org website, or it is probably npm.js. I forgot the web link. I'll provide you in the description. And there you can see lots of packages. And guess what? I also make a lot of packages. And if you want to use them, you can just go on the link in the description, and you can just download them using npmi and the package name. For example, what if you want to download this Express package? A lot of S's. Well, it is this. Then if we do npmi express, it will be installed. And in order to use it, we can just do const and probably some name like p is equals to recur express. Pretty simple. And that's how we use our modules. And if you want to install it, just do npm install express. Pretty easy. And there is another thing. Before creating a node package, I will suggest you to do npm init-y. It is for initting or initializing a normal Node.js package. But anyways, this is it for this video. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope you were able to learn something new. And please tell me what you guys want to learn. I will try my best to make a video on it. And thanks a lot for watching. Bye.